happy that you have joined me today so that we can have this conversation live on LinkedIn. We're also streaming to YouTube as well. And I'm delighted that you're here today. So go ahead and introduce yourself for everyone who is watching right now.
First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure, and being here in your channels is like really, is great. So I'm Katherine Beltran. I am a certified business and executive coach, and I help new entrepreneurs and small business owners set up the foundation of their business and get out of if they're stuck at that overwhelming sensation of not knowing where they're doing wrong or what they're not doing at all, that they are not being successful and they are not reaching their goals, right? So I help them
Mhm.
to see those blind spots in the way. Then I can teach them, marketing and social media and things like that. But people, they have to figure it out from within what is going on in order for them to succeed.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you for that. And you're located in Florida, is that correct?
Yes, Tampa.
In Tampa, Florida. I'm curious because I'm always curious about people's origin stories, Catherine. I'm curious how you got into this business, where you are now, helping support business owners, helping them turn inward, which is what I just heard you say. And today's topic, we're going to focus a little bit on how to be a more confident business owner. So, what gave you the confidence in your story to be this coach and to help support people? And you're so brilliant at it too. So, I'm excited to hear your story.
Thank you. So I'm from Colombia. I moved to the United States 25 years ago to go to get my MBA, and I started to climb the corporate ladder. Right, that was my dream. Climb the American corporate ladder, and I did. And I left corporate because my son has autism, and I want to
Mhm.
have more time with him. Nothing wrong with corporate. I have very good friends that they're very successful in corporate. But I left, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start my business, and I never look back. I got in love with the entrepreneurial journey when I reflect on myself, right? So I understand their journey because it's what I was feeling at that, at that time.
Mhm.
The ups and downs, why, I see still seeing so many people closing their doors or going back to corporate. They are giving up, but it's not because they don't have the courage, it's that they don't have the right tools and the right mentality. So at that point, so I start my business and I get in love. And I really, I knew that I was going to be able to make it happen. Every single thing that I decide to do, I go after and I pursue until I reach that goal, right? But how I can help more people to be in the same boat, and how I can just help them to get that aha moment where they say like yes, and they reach out for help. Because one of the biggest thing, and I think for all of us as human beings, is asking for help when we are
Mhm.
stuck. We don't want that. Is that internal fear of judgment and the big
Mhm.
ego that is pretending us to go to ask for help. So, like for me, it's kind of a mission because behind every single business story and every single business owner is a dream. Like for me, it's
Hmm.
more time for my son being able to provide what he needs. For somebody that is older can be have the means to retire where they want to be. For somebody else can be traveling. For somebody, it's everything different, but it's not about the business. The business is what is going to give you the life that you want. It's about the
Mhm.
dream, and I love to be part of that.
So I'm hearing what I'm hearing you say is, well, one, it's obvious that you're very passionate about helping other entrepreneurs live out that dream and that purpose that they have. And I'm hearing also their values, right? It's like you made a decision because you value family, you value parenting your child with autism and making sure that they're thriving. You value your autonomy, I would assume. Yes. And so I feel like what's really wonderful is getting people to understand what they truly value, and then helping them find what those stepping stones are to get them to that particular dream that they have. And I'm curious about what are some of the strategies, and you can just speak into one if you want, that you use to help clients who might feel, because being a solopreneur is not for the faint of heart. I mean, it's a challenging everyday job, and I mean, you're a parent, I'm a parent. We're negotiating a lot of different things and other people's schedules. Um, what is something that you give as a tool to help an entrepreneur, small business owner build that confidence to keep moving and driving forward?
The first thing is clarity, and clarity is something that I feel that is overused. That, like so many things that we hear in the online space, right? But
Right.
really finding what
Uh-huh.
what what you need to do. So being realistic, number one, because one of the things is that when you start the journey, you want to go after everything, and you are not taking in consideration, like you're mentioning, other people's schedule, what I need to do. So stepping back and making sure that they are also on top of their to-do list. Everything
Mhm.
starts from within. In that way you can reflect, to what you have to do. So the first thing is like going and finding that, like, what motivates you, right? Like, I coach them first. So for me, that's the process. So I want that they have clear what motivates them. For everybody is different. For some people can be money, for some people can be, social recognition. It's different for everybody. So finding those core values is what is
Mhm.
going to, to set the stone to set up whatever schedule. And the next thing I would say is learning the marketing and sales skills that they need for their business. Uh, because that's what we have to do, right? So it's not as easy as me giving you a marketing plan or a business plan. That's the easiest part for me as a professional, right? But I know that for the other person that is receiving them, like, let's say if it's social media, there is a barrier why you want to outsource your social media, right? Like, why you don't want to show up like right now on video. It's more about, it can be not only that they are not confident, can be fear of judgment. It's not that
Mhm.
they are perfectionists, it's that they don't want to be judged. Probably they don't feel worthy, probably they have imposter syndrome, and that is going to be reflected. So making sure that they get deep down to those core things about themselves, in that way then they can implement marketing skills and sales skills. Because if you don't have marketing, nobody is going to know what you have to
Right.
sell or what you have to offer, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
and those are the type of things that people doesn't realize. So for many of my clients, that's what, like, oh my god, I never think about that. And when you understand the why you have to do these things, is when you get passion, and is when you partner that with the motivation, is when you go ahead and you do what you have to do to take your business out of the ground.
Wonderful, wonderful. So tell us a little bit about what it's like to work with you. Do you take on a new client? About how long are you there? Are you just like, I am your accountability coach? I'm going to give you these tools. We can touch in. Tell us a little bit about how, when someone hires you, what does that look like?
So we work together for 6 weeks. If
Hmm.
it's needed, we can extend the contract for another 6 weeks. But definitely for me as a coach, I don't want to be that my clients are like the tree frog, right? Stick to me, because I want to give them the skills to go, because that is their journey. So the first step is going through that coaching, right? Let's talk to me about you. Let's talk to me about those goals, and kind of like start to peel the onion.
Mm-hmm.
And they will have also the support through Voxer. And after we get to that point that they are ready, we start to work in, a specific marketing plan for them, how it's going to look depending on the business that they have. If they're a
Hmm.
personal brand, how you have to show up, what personal brand means, right?
Hmm.
Let's talk about your website. And also I give them the resources for them to set up, whatever they need to set up. And then we go through sales skills, and at the end we put everything together. There is always coaching and during the process, and that's it. And they graduate and they're on their own. If they need me, they know that I'm always there.
Mhm.
for them. And that's something that not just as a marketing skill, because I feel that when we work with people, that's one of the best things that we can do when we have like those, for me, VIP clients are all, but there's some that they're always there, like the core of my business. So how we can stay in front of them.
Mhm.
Maybe they are going to need something else that is not our skill set or what we do at that moment. But 100%, I'm 100% sure that they will refer me if they know somebody that needs their service because the experience that they have. So I make sure that they understand the same process, even they are brick and mortar or if they are like an online brand, that they remember that. I'm really dedicate that they feel the experience when they work with me.
Beautiful, beautiful. And you also do work in corporate, even though you're not corporate anymore. You also bring the entrepreneurial spirit, if you will. And I've also
Yeah.
heard you talk about the coach's coach. So you've done work in corporate. Can you tell me some of that organizational work that you do to build the confidence there as well within the business?
Yes. So I'm part of a leadership coaching program for
Mhm.
one of the best private universities here in the Tampa area. And we coach executives from the MBA program and from a very, one of the best healthcare systems in the country. And I help those executives to see their blind spot. In that way they can move on and they can have more successful teams. And like we all need a coach. I have a coach, right? We all have
Mhm.
those spots.
Mhm.
That's why in the car we have the mirror, because we have those blind spots. When we don't see the car, we're gonna crash, right? Same
Right.
thing in
Yes.
life. Same thing. So many times in corporates, like the communication, that the way that they're communicating, and it's just like they finding out that they have probably, or human resources, the person that is interviewing, they have the, they want the best, but however they run a story in their heads. Maybe it's because it's a revolving door, or they're not sure if this person is going to work or not. So how you can identify those things internally, in that way you show up and you do your work the best that you can. In that way you can have the best results for your team, for you and your team. So yeah, that's what I do with corporate employees.
I love that. Thank you. And you joined Confidently Speaking about, oh, was it like 6 months ago? Has it been about that
uh,
long? A little less?
yeah, like, yeah, more or less, yes.
A little that. Well, you joined. So you're a member of Confidently Speaking, and tell me what drew you to that program in particular. And we met on TikTok, which I love. And if people
Yes.
are not, and let's just say this right now, if people if you have a small business and you're not on TikTok right now, you should probably be on TikTok. It's a very people are not just dancing.
Exactly, exactly. So I met you on TikTok, and the process was, I really saw your TikTok, and I went and I spent like 45 minutes watching like 200 TikToks, and I reached out to you, and it's that connection, and it's exactly what you say, right? It's not just a dancing app, or and I will say that for any social media.
Right.
But then
Right.
social media channel is not about that. And I joined and I reached out to you, and honestly has been transformational for me as a person, and for my business.
Well, it's been
And yes, has been
well.
great, and the support of the group and you, and it's every week. And one of the things when I talk about confidence speaking, and because I share what I do
Mhm,
in your
mhm,
group, and I share about you, because people has the idea that it is just if you want to be a motivational speaker, and that was one, that's one of my goals, and that, and I'm
mhm.
preparing for that. But is beyond, like the skills that you learn, and the skills that you learn with the improv exercises, doesn't just translate if you're gonna do a conference or a training. It's in every single aspect, because as business owner we go and we network. So
Hmm.
we have to be prepared for those questions that we're not prepared, in the way that we pitch and we introduce ourselves. There are so many components of what we learned with you that has been priceless for me.
Oh, I really appreciate you saying that. And what I love about the community too is that it's a wonderful network of people who really, I have found, lift each other up. There's other relationships that are developing outside of the group from people in the group. It's really just a really, I feel delighted. And
Yes.
what I love is that I learned so much from all of you. And I think that's also just to talk about like building confidence as a business owner, is when you really allow yourself to listen and to allow yourself to have that beginner's mind and to learn from the people that you surround yourself with. And also, and I don't know if you feel the same way, Katherine, but when I get to coach, when I get to teach, I learn so much about myself. I can reflect back and go, oh, that didn't go so hot that time. Here's how I would adjust it for next time. Or that felt really good. What was it about that particular combination of things that really worked? And how can I do that again, right? And sometimes it's just time
Yes.
and space and the people that you have in the room. And I always say you have the right people in the room at the right times. Like if like sometimes I hear people who have those events and they're like, but 500 people signed up and only 30 people showed up. And I was like, but it's the 30 people that were supposed to be there, right? It's not about the
Exactly.
people who weren't. So I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent, but like I'm curious about you as a coach too, what those discoveries are, because that's what's so delightful about it is how much you also learn about yourself and how that grows your confidence as a small business owner.
Yeah. So when I coach, like you say, I learn from everybody in the community,
Hmm.
and the confidential speaking group, and when you go outside and network, and when you have those conversations with people, and you go at the end of the day and you reflect on yourself, right? At the end of the day, I feel
Hmm.
like when people share their stories, we see ourselves reflect on whatever they're sharing, and that's why I feel that
Mm.
it's so powerful, whatever it is, in a business setting, or anywhere. So when I hear those stories, and for my business as a business owner, I am like, this is me. Or sometimes I feel like this is something that you can do better, and this is, and I when I meet people, if I can give them one or two tips, I never want to be the person that withhold information. If I see
Right.
that I can give you, a tip of two, yeah, it's just serving others for the better good. But it's just learning and really, like you say, listening. And I feel that
Hmm.
when we are in what I call silence, and when I'm listening, is when you can get more information. And listening is a skill that is hard to master, because many
Yeah.
people has a hard time to listen, and they feel that they are listening when they are not. It's hard to don't give our opinion in the middle of the phrase when somebody's talking. So I feel that, for myself, is cutting myself on those moments when I feel like I want to really jump in and give my opinion and really step back and fully 110% listen, when, and outside of my coaching or with my clients, how I can be fully present in the way I can learn more from others.
I really, really appreciate that you just said that because it is a really difficult skill to, and there's a difference between listening and then hearing and allowing yourself to be really present with that person, whether that be us as coaches and educators or whether that be, yes, you at a networking event. Uh, we're so easily distracted, and I know we talk about us, even in this space, this day and age with all the social media and the multiple places that we can be pulled to, I feel like it's just a human nature thing in general. And so we do have to really rein it in. And for example, at a networking event, it's hard. because you kind of have your objective, right? It's about also leading with intention. So let's just say we
Yeah.
go to that networking event and we speak to that first person. I have noticed for myself, I can only speak for myself, that there are these times when I'm like, ooh, but I really want to speak to that person over there, but this person has my attention. What would it feel like if I will just allow myself to stay with that person? Like,
It's
what would that benefit be?
exactly. It's about being present.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have that. I feel that now I network a lot. And when I go, and it's exactly like that. We know we want to be intentional. We want to connect with people, especially for me, it's people that I know that they will benefit from what I have to offer, right? But
Yeah.
also, I want to connect with people that we can collaborate in any way or form. So
Mhm.
I like community service. I like to be involved with nonprofit organizations because I like to serve as well. But it's how, like you say, how I can be there. And
Mhm.
at the end of the day, they like the example that I did before about marketing. They will remember that you took the time to listen, because many times it's not about me. If they're talking to us, it's because they're gravitating towards something about
Mhm.
our introduction that maybe doesn't have nothing to do with us, but something is there. So just how we can like really take our time and live the now. And it's challenging because we always listen for trying to look into the future, right? We have
Mhm.
plans, and as a business owner, yes, I have a business plan at 6 months, the quarter and the goals. It is part of your business. But in the personal level, and as a business owner, is how I can live the now. And
Mhm.
this can, and how I can remember and I keep present that all that I have is today,
Mhm.
like this life with you, how I can enjoy it. My clients of today, I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow. And that can sound like, oh my God, don't be pessimist. It's not pessimist. If we were understanding that better, we will go after our goals every single day. And it's
Right.
just like we don't have that present. And then it's not about being pessimist, it's about being like, that's the reality. And when myself did that work and I embrace it, it's part of what it is. I can tell you that every single day, even if there are days that I don't want to do it, because I also get overwhelmed. I also, I don't want to create 200 TikToks or reels, but it's part of the journey. But I embrace it now because it's all that we have. And as a business owner, I think that that's a very important lesson, to embrace every day.
Mhm. I love that message, and it does instill showing up is what I'm hearing you say. Showing up and being in the present, being here now, um, and keep showing up. It helps. That builds the confidence too. It's like it's stepping into the fear. It's stepping into the unknowns that starts to also build our confidence as business owners and trusting. I feel that trust is a big component of the process. It's like to trust the process, trust the steps that you're taking to get to your your goal, whether that be you want to be rich and own a sailboat, or whether that be
Yeah.
you just want to have a fulfilled life and have certain goals. It's, all of us have, yeah, and I think you said this at the beginning of our talk, that we all have different reasons for why we become business owners.
And like I love that you say is the confidence, right? How we show up with confidence. And that's something that being in your group, being part of your community has given me. And
Hmm.
um, and that's priceless. And that show up every single place that you do. If it's on a reel, if it's on a networking event, if it's in a family gathering, if whatever it is, you feel confident, right? Because you are learning those skills that no matter what is coming from different places and it's not what you are expecting, you're
Mm-hmm.
confident on your skin, and you are able to, to come and be you at the end of the day. And as a business owner, that's part of your branding, right? Is
Yes.
And that is going to be reflected everywhere. The way that you communicate here, the way that they look at, the website and on a live, on a real, and on their real life, and that confidence for me, and is that's priceless, right? When you don't
Hmm.
doubt it, who you are, and how you can show up. Oh my God, that's another level.
It is another level. And not caring too much about what other people think because not everyone's going to resonate with your message. You're not
Yes,
going to be the right,
100%.
right? Like there are going to be people out there that are like, God, it's that woman again. And they're going to scroll through or they're not going to
Yeah.
hire me. And that's fine, right? You have like, it's, we can't not be everything for everyone.
Exactly. And
Impossible.
exactly. And social media is part of the reality, and it's part of the moving forward. And I respect people that doesn't like social media, but I really
Yeah.
invite people that doesn't like to really check what is it, right?
Why
We
don't you
are,
like it?
yeah, we drive cars, like we, if everything evolves, we are
Yeah.
evolving as a human beings, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I remember the other day somebody saying like, yeah, they go in the subway and everybody's on their phones. Well, 40 years ago, they went on the subway with a newspaper. So probably they are reading CNN on their phones in the subway in New York. Yeah.
Oh,
Whenever.
20. Yes.
Yeah, so and that is using the way that we are receiving information. Yes, there are things that everything else, but we also, TV, same thing. We, 10, 20 years ago, we have the control. So is stop looking for validation outside, right? You have the
Hmm.
control to go on TikTok and be in the nice side of TikTok where you can meet Meredith or
Or
myself,
Catherine.
or Catherine, or cooking, or whatever it is they do. Or you can choose the side of TikTok where they want to dance 24/7. So at the end of the day, it's your choice, but it's not because of that that is bad, and you don't want to be obsolete. And as a business owner, it's not like so. That's something that I feel like, try to don't complain. There are changes. Like Instagram has a change every day. TikTok algorithm has a change every day. But that's your job as a business owner. You want to go with the flow because it's part of your business. It's like, if also, I have coaches, take courses, I go to conference because I don't want to be obsolete. I cannot prepare, help a client with a marketing tool or a marketing plan from 15 years ago. It's not going to
No,
work.
exactly. I know. I know.
So,
Um,
yeah.
it's so true. It's about staying relevant and it's about, you didn't say the word curiosity, but for me, it's about curiosity. Like even today, I was thinking, what's the next social platform? Like, what information does Gary V have that I don't know about right now? I'm always-
I
it's
know.
right. It's living in that constant state of like, what now? What's next? Because to me, that's what's exciting. It's exciting, and that also builds confidence when you're kind of like, I know something that somebody else doesn't know, right? That's kind
Yeah.
of that I want to be the first person to tell my clients about this.
Yeah.
Like, there's something really just fun about that too. I think it for me, I find that fun. Like, I get
Yes.
to share this with you, yay! And here's how we
Yes.
do it. Let's do it together because none of us have to do this alone. We don't have to do it alone.
Exactly.
Catherine, I want to say, as always, it was a delight to have this conversation with you. And thank you for joining me for a LinkedIn Live. How can people find you? Where can people find you? I know I have your email address or your website here at catherinebeltran.com. Can you tell us a couple of other places where we can find you?
Yes, they can find me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram. Same handle, Catherine Beltran Coaching. And yeah, I love Instagram. It's my number
And
one
you're
platform.
and
Yeah,
you're doing phenomenal on that
yeah.
platform. So
So,
beautiful.
yeah, I just and I'm just open to communicate, to DMs, messages. Yes. So,
Terrific. Thank you. And if people are interested in confidently speaking, please get in touch with me. We'd love to have you as a part of the community. And that is because it's fun. It's members.confidentlyspeaking.fun.
yes.
And we do have fun for sure. That is not a lie. So I want to say thank you for those who were watching. And thank you, Katherine, for being here today.
Thank you so much, Meredith.